Hello my friends, welcome back to our blind Let's Play, Ever 17, the Out of Infinity for the PC. My name is FlightlessBird, this is your Story Based Game Channel, and today we are starting route number 4. Whew. Man, it's been one heck of a ride, and we still have a lot of unanswered questions from previous routes. So with that said, we're gonna jump into this route in a moment. But before we do, I want to talk about something that Intro0 pointed out in our last video. But I didn't want to start with it, because if you just click on this video and you haven't seen the series for the first time, I don't want the first thing you see to be a spoiler. So with that said, let's roll the intro and then we'll get to the thing that's really interesting. So what we have here is a side-by-side image of Takeshi's end credits versus KID's end credits. And what you'll see is Takeshi's end credits has username listed as Yubisei Haru Kana Tanaka, whereas KID's is Yubisei Aki Kana Tanaka. In Takeshi's route, Yu was very upfront about her name, and she told everyone her name, whereas in the KID's route, she only told KID. But they're not the same name, they're different. Which makes me believe that Takeshi's routes are in a completely different dimension than KID's routes are. There's slight differences between the two. And what's happening is the two dimensions, if we can use that word, the two dimensions or space-times are colliding at different aspects. And so when we play as Takeshi, we're seeing an entirely different dimension that's similar to KID's, but not the same. And that's why KID was so confused when he heard her name Aki, because he recognized that there was something wrong with that name. He recognized that her name shouldn't be Aki, it should be Haru. I don't know what that means precisely. Don't get me wrong, I'm unsure. But thank you, Entra, for pointing this out. We're just gonna have to keep playing to figure out why she's two different people, but yet the same person, when no one else seems to be that way. Or at least that we know, right? I guess? So, first choice on route number 4. But listen to the staff member's explanation, and as we do that, well, the game freezes. There we go, and we're off. There's gonna be a lot of, fast forwarding probably through this one, because there is a lot of choices that we've chosen already, and we're looking for the branching points. So it was the Tanuki. Then we continue to stay silent, and we're off again. We say, who am I? Which is something we've already said before. Yeah, this is us speed running Ever 17. Here we go. A new choice. No thanks. No thanks. I replied instantly. I looked away from my hand. What's the matter? Your head hurts, right? And yes, we are kids still, which is what I thought. Yeah. Well, if you don't take these, the pain won't go away. All the dots. Pain continued to throb through my skull. The pills in her hand would help to ease the pain. I understood all that. Yep, for some reason I want to look away from the medicine. Oh, I get it. I see you. You don't like the taste, right? All the dots. Well, that's kind of sad.
でも大丈夫。この薬ちっとも苦くなんてないから。
But that's okay. This medicine isn't bitter at all. So I can see what we're doing here. We're basically denying her instead of accepting her help.
苦いところが芳醇で濃厚な甘みが口いっぱいに広がっていき、それでいて少しもしつこくなく。
It's more than not bitter. It's got a mellow, sweet yellow flavor that floats throughout the mouth without an aftertaste. Ouch. My headache had gotten worse.
ほら、言わんこっちゃない。
I told you so.
どうしても飲めないって言うんなら、お尻から座薬を入れちゃうぞ。
If you really can't swallow it, then I can give it to you anally via a supposed. I think we'll take the pills. Oh man, I can't even read that. Sorry. If you really can't swallow it, then I can give it to you anally via a suppository. For an instant, I feared my chastity might be violated and grabbed the belt of my pants. All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. Feeling half threatened, I downed the medicine even though I didn't want to. It was super bitter.
多分軽い気圧障害だと思う。
Yeah. Definitely always want to take the pills through the mouth and not the other way around. That is. Ooh, da laddie. Alright, so our next choice here is going to be no thanks. Wait a second. Oh, we already said no thanks, right? Duh, I'm an idiot. Sorry. This is why I have to cross things out as I go. I didn't cross that one out. We just said no thanks to the pills. We don't ask. What are we not asking? So where do you go? You want to hear it? Which is it? Oh, this is when she like does her magic trick to make our pain go away, right? Don't ask. I don't want to know. Huh?
なんでよ、聞きなさいよ。
Why not ask away? But you said that I better not ask, right?
本当に純情だよね、君。
You are so naive. What's wrong with being naive?
いけなくはないけど、損するよ、何かと。
Nothing's wrong with it, but you miss out somehow. All the dots.
まあいいや。とにかく教えてあげよう。
Whatever. Anyway, I'll tell you. I said I don't want to hear.
うるさい。シノコのやつに黙って聞きやがれ。
Be quiet. Shush up and listen. All the dots.
さっき君はいきなりす。
Yeah, I had to make sure that I'm doing things as we go. Okay, try. Yeah, here's don't ask. Don't ask you. That's right. So basically everything we're doing is against you now. No big deal.
なんでもない。いきなり懸垂始めてなんでもないことはないでしょう。
No big deal? You suddenly started doing chin-ups on the elevator and then you say it's no big deal? And yes, as expected, we do have Sarah here. It must have been just my imagination. Forget about it.
やれやれ。どうして最近の若いもんはこう素直じゃないんだろうね。
Now, why aren't all youngsters as easygoing as you these days? You shrugged her shoulders in an exaggerated way. Oh, the dots. It seemed like Maya was having a little trouble deciding how to react to Yu's behavior. Maya would glance at me from time to time, but when eyes met, she would look away. And away we go. Try to contact the outside. That is actually... That's actually the same response. So try to contact the outside. And then we get a quick image of her drop kicking. Worry! Alright, so yes, I believe I am correct. This is Sarah's route. Because Coco's not here, obviously. And the fact that we're worrying with Sarah here and we were rejecting you basically means that, you know, this has to be her route. Huh? What's wrong? I couldn't help but notice a dark look in her eyes. There was nothing left of the ninja attitude that she had departed with. Did something happen? Oh, the dots. Sarah? Oh, the dots. Sarah? Hey!
何
Huh? Well, what? You alright?
平気だよ全然
Sure, fine, great.
どうしてそんなこと聞くの
Why do you ask? Well, I mean, you look so depressed.
そんなことないってば
No, it's not that at all.
ただ
It's just...
出口見つかんなかったからちょっとへこんでただけ
We didn't find an exit, so I'm feeling kinda down. Is that really all that's bothering you?
うんそれだけ
Yeah, that's all. Sarah's spirits seemed to lift a little. Seeing her smile made me feel a bit relieved.
ともかく
It's good to see Sarah smile. I like Sarah. Alright, so once again, choose any name here. Last time we went with Naoto-kun because Naoto is one of my favorite Persona characters. I like Makoto for obvious reasons. Let's go with Prince. That's right. You can just call me Prince. I like you all to bow down to your prince.
王様
No way.
絶対無理
Forget about it.
ありえないな。
You gotta be kidding.
賛成しかねます
I can't concur.
だって似合わないもの
I mean, it doesn't suit you. Oh, I love how this game can still make me laugh so many times. Why are you so angry? And I get it. Okay. So we are just zooming through this run right now. You would kind of expect that though. The even number runs to go faster and the odd number runs to go slower. I might be able to handle that. Hey, something new. Well, somehow I think I could.
え泳ぐんですよ歩いたり走ったりするわけではないんですよ
What? You'd have to swim it, you know. This isn't walking or running. But 34 meters? I mean, that's right over there. Well, I would float. Actually, I think it would be easier than walking the distance on land.
少年さんは水深34メートルの水圧がどれほど苛烈なものなのか全く分かっていらっしゃらないようですね
You don't have any idea how severe water pressure is at 34-meter depth, do you, kid-san? Huh? No, just hold on just a moment. Just a second ago, you were talking about even if one could endure the water pressure.
そんな過程は無意味です
That sort of hypothetical talk is meaningless.
水圧を抜きにしてこの問題を語ることはできません
You can't discuss this problem without water pressure. But Sora, you said...
いいですかもう一度だけ想像してみてください
Listen, try to imagine it just one more time.
水深34メートル10階建てのビルの屋上まで泳ぎ切ることができますか
You are 34 meters deep. Could you swim to the top of a 10-floor building? There was a severe edge to Sora's way of putting it. I felt like there was something of a warning contained within her words. So Sora, you don't really think that I would try to break out of winter stock and swim to freedom, do you?
しませんよね
You wouldn't, would you? Ha ha ha, no way. Why would I do anything that reckless and crazy?
いえそれならばいいのですが
Well, I should hope not. It's fine, I understand. Right now, all we can do is patiently wait for help, right?
はいそうです
That's right. Saying that, Sora gave a big nod. And where are we going? Let's see. In our previous run, the first place we went to was the Dolphins Merry-Go-Round. That's the last place we go this time. Second place is the control room. That's the same. Third place is the jellyfish gondola. Fourth place is the security office. Fifth place is a merry-go-round. So we need to go to the warehouse first. I wonder if this is gonna be the same.
うんというよりはナッキュ先輩が少し一人にしてくれって言うから別行動してるだけなんだけどね
Kinda the same. It begins the same, but actually, Naku said that she wanted to be alone, so we just went our separate ways. Oh, that reminds me. How were things with Segumi? All the dots. Sarah sighed slightly and held her hands out, palms facing up. I see. Feminine intuitions aside, not even the two girls have been able to get through to her, even though there was no apparent reason for Tsugumi to hold a grudge. Have we heard this music before? Don't know if I've heard this one before. It's very catchy though. I like it. What could Tsugumi have been so angry with us about? Finally, we promised to leave later. Okay, so from the warehouse to the control room. I turned my eyes to the massive monitor behind Sora. A flat map of Lemieux's Twitterstock and Twitterstock floors were displayed. Lemmy was monitoring Lemieux wall to wall 24 hours a day. If Lemmy could survey the situation, then what in the world? By the way, why is Lemmy called Lemmy? And off again. And next we're going Jobfish Gondola. And that was fast. Alright, security office. And the merry-go-round. So a lot of this is literally the exact same thing with just like some differences. Oh, I talked to Sarah and she said that things were no good with Tsugumi. Well, you could say that. What exactly happened? Well, in a nutshell, it was like we whiffed. I remember this line. And here we have the awkward line, the awkward scene with Coco, which nothing changed there. Oh, right there. Takeshi shamelessly carried on like that, looking happily asleep. Now he's dreaming of you again. So weird. Why is this a new line? Like, everything isn't new except for those lines. It's like, why is that different? I decided to make her act like Minnie Mousy, Caesar, or a spoiled baby. Yes, act like a spoiled baby. I'll have you act out as a spoiled baby. Oh, I might be good at that. Really? Yep. Okay then, Matsunaga Sara-san, become a spoiled baby. I'm little Sarah. That milk's cold. I won't drink that milk unless you warm it up to body temperature. All the dots. All the dots. Sorry. I'm sorry. I can't remember what babies are like, so I don't know if that was close. And then, what are you doing? You appeared in your clothes and lights are off. Wonderful. I got it. And I'll wait here. So we're not helping you. Again, we're going against her. I want to know what the debug menu has to say about this. Character status. Huh. So you has 1, Sora has 1, and Sarah has 1. Interesting. So I think the idea is you have to balance these two out and have this one be highest. Huh, okay. I'll wait here. So, what are we going to do? Oh well, then I'll have to make do with Kiranari. Geez, you're a piece of work. Can't you let your real feelings net show? Don't be getting any strange ideas. You do it, and I'll knock you down. Got it? Take it easy. There's no way I'd try something on you, even by mistake. When the two of them disappeared on the fire in the corridor, they were still going at it, which leaves us, Kid and Sarah, alone. those two. Yeah, so we're alone with Sarah now, which makes sense, right? Yeah.
なんだかんだ言って結構いいコンビだと思わない？
I don't know. I think they may make a pretty good couple, don't you? Eh, it's funny that you say that, considering we just had a storyline where yeah. You think so?
うん。ナッキ先輩って気に入った相手には遠慮しない性格だから。
Yeah.
心を包み隠さないっていうか。
Naku is the kind of person who tells people she likes what she really thinks. She speaks her mind.
たけしも似たようなタイプっぽいしね。
Takeshi kind of seems like that too. I wasn't sure why, but somehow I was a little jealous of you and Takeshi. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't open up to anyone like that. I had nothing to share. Moon Sprite. A while after the two had disappeared, Sarah and I hadn't spoken another word. The two of us just leaned against the wall and stared into the darkness. I was desperately trying to think of some way to break through the wall that had formed between us. Sarah, how old are you? Finally, the words tumbled out of my mouth.
突然、何？っていうか、教えてなかったっけ？
Where did that come from? I thought I told you. I don't think so.
高校2年生16歳、1月21日生まれ水亀座。
I'm a junior. I'm 16, and I was born January 21st. Oh, and I'm an Aquarius. Sarah recited it so smoothly that it was like she was singing a song.
で、少年は？
And you, kid? I didn't know. When I tried to remember, it was like my mind would fog over. I couldn't get close to it. It was like a mirage in the desert. I wonder how old I am.
そんなこともわからないんだ。
You don't know that either? Nope.
なんだか寂しいね。
Well, that's kind of sad. Yeah.
だけど、それで良かったのかもしれないよ。
But maybe it's good in a way. What do you mean?
いっそ忘れてしまいたいような過去だったのかも。
Well, maybe it was something that you want to forget about. All the dots.
なんてね。
Just kidding. Sarah's expression relaxed into a silly look. What? Don't scare me like that.
ごめんごめん。
Sorry.
あ、そうだ。切り倒してみたらわかるかもよ。少年が何歳なのか。
I know. Maybe if I chopped you down, we'd find out how old you are. I'm not a tree. Huh?
木の切り株みたいに年輪が刻まれてるかも。
You know, maybe you got rings like a tree stump. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not a tree. All the dots. For some reason, my eyes strayed to the palms of my hands. In the darkness, only dimly illuminated by the emergency lights, my fingers appeared to glow slightly white. I still didn't know what had happened to my finger.
指。
Your finger. Muttering that, Sarah grabbed my finger. Aww. Our first real good image of Sarah in her route. And it's beautiful. God, the artwork's so good. All the dots. And again, the music. I don't remember hearing this song before. Maybe I have multiple times. It's just I played the game so many times now that I'm hearing it, you know, for the first time. But it just feels different. It was so sudden that it put me at a loss for words. In the darkness, Sarah whispered words like she was confirming something as she gripped my thumb.
長弓、背押し、月のせい。
Moon Sprite, shouldering a long bow,
夢の中より待ち降りぬ。
waiting inside a dream. All the dots. What does that mean? Sarah just shook her head. There was no sign that she was going to answer me. She just murmured the words like a spell or a nursery rhyme as she gently held my thumb. A moon sprite. I wondered why Sarah had suddenly grabbed my thumb. Still, I didn't have any urge to pull it away from her. As I remained aware of the thumb, I searched for an answer from Sarah's slightly sweaty, warm palm.
お待た
Thanks for waiting.
多分これでもう大丈夫だと思う。
I think we'll be okay now.
せ。お目当てのバルブを探すのに結構手間取っちゃったけど。
It was a hassle to look for the valve, but with the two of them back, Sarah finally released my thumb. In the darkness, I couldn't make out Sarah's expression very well. The area around her mouth pulled down slightly in a sad motion. Warmth lingered around my thumb. I didn't know why, but I hesitated to wipe the warmth away and gently insert my hand into my pocket, leaving my thumb extended. With that, we had been able to shut off the hot water flowing to the generator room. Even so, on the other side of the door it was still hot enough to scald. The four of us waited outside the generator room until we could be sure that the temperature inside had cooled enough. When we thought the time had come, we timidly opened the door. Takeshi and you tackled the main work. There was hardly anything for Sarah and myself to do, as we knew squat about machines. We functioned as assistants, shining flashlights, handing over tools, and loosening valves as instructed. After a while, we succeeded in repairing the generator. It was just like Sarah had said. The cause of the blackout was opening of the safety valve due to the drop in air pressure. When pressure from the steam becomes excessive, the valve automatically opens to release the gas and prevent damage. Normally, after release of surplus gas, the valve is designed to shut naturally, but we're only at 1 atmosphere. Because the safety valve never closed, the steam continued leaking. Anyway, that was the gist of the explanation. We left the generator room and went to the pipe room. No problem? Yes, no problem. Yep, call that one. No problem at all. Oh well, so any kind of juice is okay?
いいよ。
Sure, anything is fine. Great. I felt like the group hierarchy had sorted itself out. I left the conference room and headed for the kiosk. And now we have Sora showing who she is. Naturally, I know the hacker. So I guess naturally I know what the hacker means. Is still the same response. Let me check the previous route. Yes, still the same response. And this should take us to our next dialogue option because nothing changed. And it's I see, which again, nothing is changing. So off we go again. And we're going with Sarah and Sora, obviously.
あら、少年さん?
Huh? Is that you, Kid-san? I believe, yeah, we're playing Kick the Can here. That makes sense.
少年もこっちに来たの?
Kid, you decided to come this way? Yeah, but where do you plan to hide?
一緒に逃げるなら君も考えて.
If you're going to stay with us, you have to help us think of something. I ran with the two of them.
そうだ、いいこと考えちゃった.
I know. I've got a great idea. Saying that, Sarah stopped suddenly. What?
どうしたのですか?
What is it?
こういう時こそ忍法でござるよ.
It's times like this I call for ninja skills. Ninja skills?
空殿、竹志氏が来たら RSD で無人の通路を表示してくだされ.
Sora, when Takeshi comes through, use RSD to show him an empty corridor. That's called cheating, not ninja skills.
名付けて科学忍法隠れみの.
This is known as the elite art of ninja camouflage.
でもそれは
Huh? But that would be... Isn't that like against the rules?
硬いこと言わないの. 瞬間移動や生体反応の検出は禁止にしたけど、レミ自体の使用は禁止されてないじゃん?
Don't be a spoil sport. We banned instant travel and bioscans, but not using Lemmy, right? Yeah, but it goes against the spirit of the competition. That's underhanded and cowardly.
裏技って言ってよ.
In the lexicon of the ninja, we call it a secret technique. No, we call it cheating. No, I'm not having any of it.
申し訳ありませんが、私も賛成しかねます.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I can't agree either.
え
What?
だったら科学忍法分身の術は?
Then, how about the elite ninja doppelganger technique? Huh?
RSD で私たちを何体も表示して、たけしを混乱させるの.
We can use RSD to make it appear that there are lots of us to confuse Takeshi. That's still cheating! That's the same thing!
レミを使う忍法はなしにしませんか?
Why don't we just say no ninja techniques using Lemmy?
ち忍ともかんとも.
You two are such prudes. Just then,
誰か来る.
somebody is coming.
田中さんではないのですか?
It's probably Tanaka-san. Probably. We peered through the darkness in the direction of the sound. we could see someone's silhouette. That build could only be... Yikes! No, it's Takeshi!
本当ですか?
What? Really? Hurry, we've gotta hide! We dashed down the corridor.
いけません。そっちは。
Oh no, that way is no good. A watertight door blocked our way forward. We're stuck.
行き止まり。
A dead end?
だから私は申し上げたのですが。
That's what I was saying. There was no room nearby that we could escape into. We should have hidden in a room somewhere. Takeshi steadily approached. At that rate, we would be caught for sure.
どうしよう。どうしよう。
Oh, what are we gonna do?
これは観念するしかなさそうですね。
It looks like we have no choice but to give up. Sarah was flustered. Sora resigned to fate. On the other hand, No, not yet. At that distance, I decided it would be better to make a dash for the nearest room. Let's go, I think we'll make it. I dragged Sarah and Sora back down the corridor. We found an entrance and dove into a room. But...
少年じゃねえか。
Hey, if it ain't the kid! Whoa, what happened? I couldn't believe it. He cut us off. It's so good. Go back.
どういうこと？
Huh? What do you mean? Just as we went to turn back to the corridor.
みっけ。
I get you. There was Takeshi. Ah.
ああ。見つかってしまいましたね。
Sarah's so cute. He caught us.
まったく手こずらせやがって。
Well, geez, that took a long time.
もう少年が戻れなんて言うからだよ。
Oh, it's all because the kids said we should go back. But, I didn't know what else to do. Can't stop. Not long after that, he found you as well. Alright, I decided to head off to check some rooms. Where are we going? We are going to the rest area. Alright, rest area we go. Oh, already been here. And after the rest area, we go to the Lemurian ruins. And then the central control room. Wow, we are, like I said, we are just speed running through this route. It's kind of insane. I get it. Yeah, we still get it. Are you sure I'm reading the right page here? So what are y'all thoughts on what's happening in this game? Do you think I was right when I said earlier that kids' routes are a separate dimension from Takeshi's routes? And the two are like coinciding with each other? I had to decide what to do. Ooh, these are completely new options. Huh. Well, that's interesting. We're supposed to do repairs with Sarah. Obviously. Yeah, that makes total sense. Repairs to Sarah. Takeshi, I'll come along and help you with the repairs.
ナッキョ先輩はどうするの？
What about Nakyu? Use tougher than the rest of us. She'll be fine. Besides, if something was wrong, she would use Lemmy to contact us.
でもさっきの揺れで先輩の身に何かあったとしたら。
But if something happened to her during that shaking,
それは大丈夫です。
you needed to worry about that.
現時点ではレミューの内部に直接的な被害は発生していない模様です。
Currently, there appears to be no direct damage inside the Mew.
田中さんの居場所についてももうしばらくすればセンサーが回復しますので、すぐに判明すると思います。
As for Tanaka-san's whereabouts, the sensors should be online in a moment, and then I will be able to detect her.
よし、ひとまず U のことは後回しだ。倉庫の状況を確認して、それから考えよう。
Alright, we'll forget about you for now. Let's go check the warehouse, and then we'll worry about everything else. Alright. She's fine, I promise. Promise? How could I promise that? But somehow I was sure of it.
わかった。
Okay. With that one word, the tension seemed to leave Sarah.
何やっているの？置いていくわよ。
What are you doing? You're gonna get left behind. The next thing I noticed, we were the only people left in the room. Sarah and I chased after everyone. That's the first sign of Segumi so far. Kid, restore breakdown. We quickly climbed the stairs. We were told that it wasn't urgent, but we still couldn't afford to be careless. Segumi quietly shouldered the heavy toolbox, climbing higher and higher. Sarah and I followed her while Takeshi and Sora lagged behind. Hey, Segumi? I called out to Segumi up ahead.
Nani?
What? Segumi responded without looking back. There's something that's been bugging me.
だから何?
What? Why were you eating a hot dog? I still couldn't figure it out. Segumi's behavior was incomprehensible to me. Then I hit upon it. It was like she had been showing off. But what she said was,
食べたかったからよ.
because I wanted to eat a hot dog. Alright, that's fair enough. That's it?
いけない?
Something wrong with that? I don't think it's wrong, but...
でも、たけしが怒るって思わなかったの?
But didn't you think it might make Takeshi angry? Sarah chimed in with a question of her own.
彼の予定なんて、私の知ったことじゃないわ.
How could I know what he's thinking? Oh, the dots. I suppose you're right. We didn't know about them until right before either. After that, we fell into silence. It looked like Takeshi and Sora were having a low-key conversation behind us.
そうね. でも、
Well... Segumi started to speak suddenly.
ちょっといたずらしたかったのか.
Maybe I did want to play a trick on him. Just a little bit. Huh? For a second, I didn't know what she was talking about. Then I realized she meant the whole hot dog thing.
思ったより手強いのね、あいつ.
He's even more stubborn than I thought. Segumi gave a rare laugh. But it was the kind of laugh that would raise a hair on the back of your neck. We finally arrived at Twitterstock. Looking around the floor, everything seemed normal, but we could hear a hissing sound coming from somewhere. We walked toward the sound.
それにしても昨日は何ともなかったのにな。
Yesterday everything was fine here.
急に異常が起きるなんてどうしてだと思う?
I was a quick skip.
なんちゃって.
Just kidding. All the dots. Segumi's flippant remark kept frozen the air around us. What did she say? It's probably because you're all running around like lunatics. You guys are making such a fuss. It probably threw Lemieux off its axis.
どうしたの? 置いていくわよ.
What's wrong? If you don't hurry, I'll leave you behind. She said that same thing a few minutes ago. Segumi walked briskly ahead. Hey, what's the matter with her?
私に聞かれたって.
How would I know?
ひょっとして頭でも打ったんじゃねえのか?
She probably just feeling her head.
驚きましたね.
She really is quite unpredictable. For a while, all we could do was stand around, not knowing what to say. We had arrived in front of the room, making the strange noise.
やっぱりこの音、倉庫の中から聞こえるな。
So it is coming from inside the warehouse.
こう言えば満足?
Satisfied?
はあ? なんだそりゃ?
Huh? What does that mean? Oh, the dots.
わかったよ。もう聞かねえよ。
Alright, I won't ask anymore. All the dots. Every once in a while, I felt that Segumi's words seemed out of place. I stole a glance at Segumi's expression as I handed over the pliers. Of course, her face didn't really tell me anything. Sora watched us for a while from the side. After a while, an intercom in the corner came on. What? What was that? What was what? I moved over to the area by the pipe she indicated. Hold on. Tanaka-kan is calling me. I must be going. Okay, go for it. We should be able to handle the rest ourselves. Okay, I'll leave the rest to you, Sora. Sora pushed the income disappear as if it sucked her in. I knew she could travel instantly, but it was still an odd sight. Segumi, kid, I'm all set here, so please go work on the valves for me. Huh? Sure, no problem. I moved over to the area by the pipes that she indicated. First, take that blue valve and... What? Oh, what was that? For a second, I saw something.
そうしたら、次に赤いバルブをひねって.
Now, twist the red valve. The intercom continued to ring, but the hissing sound of the steam persisted. That feeling I just had, that was like before. I know. It was like when I was going to the conference room from the kiosk this morning.
それじゃあサラ、少しそこで待ってて.
Now, Sarah, wait just a bit.
準備 OK。
Okay, I'm ready.
少年、今言った順番でバルブをお願い。
Kid, turn the valves in the order I told you. All the dots.
ちょっと少年、聞いてるの？
Hey kid, are you listening? Huh? Yeah, I got it. Sorry, the blue and then the red, right?
そうよ。緩めて、それから閉めるの。
Yeah, loosen them and shut them again. I set to work on the blue valve in front of me. I was supposed to loosen it. And right then, it happened again. The inside of my head went all white. I felt like my consciousness was whisked off somewhere else. What was that? An image flashed at the back of my mind, and it felt like my brain was being hammered by light. It would stop and start. Boxes falling and shattering to the floor. Massive amounts of water cascading down. And then... that was Tsugumi being injured. All the dots. I remember losing all power to stand and crumpling right there on the spot. That was... it can't be.
おい、どうしたんだ？おい。
Hey, what's the matter? Hey! Takeshi shook my shoulders, bringing me back from wherever I'd been. Takeshi?
お、俺だ。大丈夫か？
It's, me, kid. Are you okay? Takeshi, trouble.
え？
Huh? If we stay here, there's going to be trouble. We have to escape, now. I caught the words out deliriously. Things are going to fall, and water will flood in, and someone will really get hurt.
何言ってんだ？わけわかんねえよ。
Yeah, what are you talking about? You aren't making any sense. Right now, we have to escape. I felt like I was filling up with fear and panic.
落ち着けよ。落ち着けって。
Calm down, just calm down.
どいて。
Out of the way. All the dots. My left cheek burned like it had been scalded.
落ち着きなさい。
Calm down. All the dots. Pressing my hand on my hurting face, I stood up. The pounding of my heart finally got under control.
あなたはもういいわ。
You've done enough. Saying that, Tsugumi pointed to the corner of the room.
あっちで、おとなしくしていなさい。
Go over there and sit quietly. What?
わからない？作業の邪魔だって言ってるの。
You don't get it? I'm saying you're in the way. All the dots.
なあ、それはちょっと言い過ぎだろ。少年は疲れてるだけなんだよ。
Well, hey, that's a little harsh, don't you think? I mean, he's probably tired, that's all.
あなたは黙ってて。
You be quiet.
いい？こういう時に、この子みたいなのがいると迷惑なの。
Listen, at times like this, people like him are a liability.
きっと今に、つまらないミスを犯すに決まっているわ。
He's going to make a costly mistake. All the dots.
あなただって、こんな場所で事故なんて起こされたくないでしょ？
You don't want to cause an accident here, do you? No, that's the whole point.
まあ、そうだけど。
Well, that makes sense, but,
ということだから、どいてちょうだい。ここは別の人に任せるわ。
Now you know what I mean. Get out of the way. We'll get someone else to do this. Alright. I walked meekly to the corner. All the dots. After that, the work went smoothly, and finally we succeeded in getting everything back to normal. What I had seen hadn't been real. Thankfully, my predictions had been off. The moon and nightmares. With the repairs finished, everyone left the room, and I was in the warehouse alone. I wondered what had been going on in my mind before. While everything had all turned out alright, it bothered me to no end. Yesterday, in the generator room, and then that, I wondered what was wrong with me. I was still without my memory. I couldn't even find any of the pieces. But maybe. I thought that maybe the crazy flashes that kept occurring had something to do with my lost memory. Maybe I'm closer to getting my memory back. I floated around the warehouse thinking about it. Suddenly, I noticed that there was another door deeper in the corner of the room. There appeared to be another room on the other side of the wall. The door was open, as if it were inviting me in. It was a tiny, tiny room. Inside the room was dimly lit and it smelled damp and moldy. The lights were off, and closing the door made it even darker. I could just make out the interior of the room. The wall looked cold and sturdy. The room was covered with cables and pipes. I imagined that the room was used for storing equipment used in the warehouse. The far wall had a small square window. My mind felt all foggy. Maybe I was just fatigued, like Takeshi said. A lot had happened over the last 3 days. I heard a lot and thought about a lot of things. I don't know what it is, but I feel so sluggish. I sat down in a corner of the room and hugged my knees. Looking up, I saw moonlight streaming in through the window. It was warm, full light. I noticed that the walls of the room were made of concrete. Whoa! We're in a different place now. As I sat with my back against a cold wall, I stared up at the full moon shining in from the outside the window. The moon was far away. The broad night sky was contained in that little square of space. The bluish shadows of the moonlight crawled slowly across the gray walls. I looked at the moon and its shadows, and I let out a sigh in the darkness. I didn't want to think about anything. I pretended not to notice the freezing coldness. The room had a very small bed. The sheets were pulled tight. There wasn't a single wrinkle or even a speck of dust. Next to the bed lay a chair with all the sharp edges rounded off. One of the chair legs was bent off in an unnatural direction. The door was closed. It was a steel door with no knob. I felt eyes upon me from the corner of the ceiling. A sharp, intense pair of eyes piercing my body. I couldn't see the body belonging to the eyes, but a harsh laugh rang loudly in my ears. Next to the lens, a red light was on. The red light was shining as if it was cutting off the corner of the ceiling. Suddenly, I heard the sobbing voice of someone behind me. Someone was crying on the other side of the wall. It's almost like we're in a, either an insane asylum or a detention center or a research laboratory. You know, being monitored. Ouch, ouch. The small voice of a girl echoed in the darkness. And then I heard, oh, I still want to punch whoever that is right now. How dare you lay a hand on a child? It was the gruff voice of a man ringing out. I suspected that the girl had been hit. It sounded like she had fallen on the hard concrete and was crying even harder. Ow, it hurts. Help, someone. I covered my ears with my hands and shook my head. You know, this title, Nightmare, is exactly correct. If I had to listen to a little kid getting beat and I couldn't do anything to stop it, I would go out of my flippin' mind. Seriously, nothing makes me more angry in this world than if you hurt an innocent child. Seriously, that just ticks me off. Covered my ears with my hands and shook my head. She's apologizing over and over again. Still, the girl's cries of pain didn't stop. As if trying to escape, I crawled across the floor to the opposite corner of the room and curled up. The moon's light was bright. I covered myself with a blanket as if to hide and closed my eyes. The girl just cried and cried. I wondered what that sound could be. I didn't want to think about it anymore. Even if I closed my eyes, even if I plugged my ears, the image of the girl struggling on the floor jumped back into my mind. I'm sorry, I can't help you! The voice gradually got weaker and faded. Finally, it disappeared completely. In the silence, only a muffled sob echoed hollowly. The air in the room was so dank and stale that it felt heavy and strange on the skin. Help me. I heard a feeble voice. Help me. It's all your fault. The sudden curses of the man drowned out the girl's voice. All this is just the way you wanted it. Right? You best fess up to it, all of it. You knew from the start that things would turn out like this. No, I didn't know. Liar. So why did you run away? I didn't run away. No, you ran away. You left that girl and ran away. No, I promised. And you broke it. Or maybe you always meant to break it. No. You bought happiness for yourself. You traded for that girl's life. I'm not gonna do his laugh. I wanna punch this guy. No, 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 no.
約束だよ。
Yeah, I
迎えに来
promise.
るまでいい子にして待ってるから。
To wait like a good kid until you come to me.
待ってるから。
I'll wait like a good girl.
待ってる。
I'll wait forever. No! I shouted and grabbed the chair lying on the floor with both hands. This is definitely new music. I took the chair as if to scare away a ghost and pounded it on the wall. Wildly, I put all my limited strength into it over and over. The chair bent awkwardly and scraped against the dented wall. Outside the window, the moonlight shined far away. Dang you! This looks like the same exact room. I mean, look, you got the chair there. You got the window. The only thing that's missing is the bed in the corner. I took the chair and threw it at the moon with all my strength. The moon shattered like fireworks, shattering to pieces. I'll kill you. Saying that, I threw my body into the steel door. The door wouldn't budge. But I didn't give up. If I had to pulverize my body, I was still going to open that door. I hurled myself against the door again and again. The rage I felt made my blood boil and my body shake with fury. Something hot and sticky flowed from near my temple. Every time I crashed into the door, a shock of pain ran through my body. I thought that my shoulder might already be broken. A dull sound echoed in the darkness endlessly.
何やってるの？
What are you doing? Suddenly, the door opened. White light poured into my eyes. Tears overflowed in my eyes and dripped down. Through my blurred vision, I could make out Sarah. Sarah stood surrounded by the bright light, her hands outstretched to me. Finally, my consciousness was sucked into the light. Powerless, I slumped to the floor, lying there. My body felt heavy like lead, like it would sink into the floor. The next thing I knew, I was on a bed. So is this a past memory or is this a dimensional memory? Either way, it's disturbing. Ah, poor kid. Poor kids. Yeah, not just kid, but whoever the other girl is. I'm assuming that's Coco? Possibly? Next thing I knew, I was on a bed. The ceiling was so white that it was slightly blinding. I'd smelled a disinfectant. Was it the infirmary?
気がついた？
Are you awake now? A shadow passed above me on the bed. Oh, it was you. I thought it was Sarah. Deja vu. No, it was something that I had actually experienced before. 2 days before, when I woke up on the first day, you was at my side. Where is Sarah?
さあ、どこかで休んでると思うよ。
Who knows? Probably resting somewhere.
今までずっとマヨが看病してくれてたんだよ。私は今さっき交代したところ。
I just replaced her a little bit ago. She looked after you the whole time until then. I see. I took both hands out from the blanket and stared dreamily at my palms. The countless wrinkles etched there, intertwining, reaching out like branches of a tree in complicated patterns. The pinkish skin and buried deeper the slightly blue veins. And 5 fingers. 5 on the left, 5 on the right, and 10 in total, the same as always. My lost finger still hadn't come back to me yet. There was still the deep scar on my left thumb. Like always, I gently ran my pinky over the scar. Like always? I see, maybe this is a habit of mine. Strangely, the fact had penetrated naturally into my mind. But I wondered when, where, and how I had injured my thumb. Maybe the scar held some kind of clue to help me remember my past. As I traced the wound with my pinky, it caused a slight stinging pain that trickled a little bit. I was finally feeling completely calmed down.
何があったの？
What happened? You poured me a cup of freshly brewed coffee, handed it to me, and sat down next to my bed. I took the coffee. After a sip, I started to explain. All the dots.
なるほど。
I see.
じゃあ、あの小部屋の作りと、かつて少年がいた場所の作りとは 何らかの共通点があるってことね。
So that little room and the room that you were in before were similar somehow? Probably.
話を聞いた限りでは、それってどこかの病室みたいだよね。
Listening to that, it sounds like a sick room or isolation ward somewhere. Sick room?
君、昔入院したことがあるんじゃないの？
You've probably been hospitalized before somewhere. All the dots.
こんなことを言ったら失礼かもしれないけど、
Maybe I should say this, but
少年は前にも今と同じようなことを、
kid, maybe you've had the same.
つまり記憶喪失や突然暴れ出したりといった発作を何度か繰り返してきたんじゃないかな。
I mean, maybe you've lost your memory or had violent fits repeatedly before.
だから小さな窓が一つしかついていないような病室に監禁されてしまった。
So maybe you were detained in a sick room with a tiny window like that. You touched on the harsh reality of the situation, yet chose the words with care.
あ、もちろんそれが真実だと決まったわけじゃないよ。あくまでも可能性の話。
Of course, it's not for sure anything, it's just one possibility.
ただ単に白チュームの中をさまよってただけ。そんな可能性もなきにしもあらずだから。
You probably had a waking dream, that is a possibility too. I was dreaming?
それも起きながらにしてね。
While you were awake though. Finally, you gave me an easy to understand explanation about the connectedness of memories and dreams. According to you, dreams and memories were clearly deeply related, but not everything seen in a dream was something experienced in reality. In other words, something had set off my hallucination, but that alone didn't mean that I really had been held in a sick room. Dreams could often appear as symbols of something else. So what I had seen earlier might have been caused by my repressed memories. In any case, there was no way to be sure of anything, and I still hadn't gotten my memory back. I felt that my experience in a sick room or somewhere like that, like one, was as unreal as a strange small animal that might appear in a dream. Maybe it was just a dream. At some point, I had become sure of it. I felt sure that it was just my mind playing a nasty trick on me. You stood beside the bed.
さてとりあえずもう一度言って確かめてみようか。
Okay, for now, shall we go to check it out one more time? Go check what?
その小部屋へ事実関係を確かめに。
That little room to set the record straight. You held out her hands to me.
もしかしたら何か記憶を取り戻すためのきっかけとなるようなものが見つかるかもしれないし。
You might find a clue to help you jog your memory and get it back. All the dots. I thought that was unlikely. I know that was just my mind playing tricks on me. I was convinced that there was no connection between that room and my memory. Even so, I had to agree to go. If she was willing to take me, I couldn't turn her down. I took Yu's hands and got up from the bed. It only made sense, but her hands felt a lot different from Sarah's. The inside of the little room was in shambles. I was amazed that I could have made that much of a mess. That was how terrible it was. I didn't think that even if you compressed all the world's poltergeists into that little itty-bitty space that they could have done much more. All I could do was stand there with my jaw on the floor as you said.
君がやったんだよ。
You did this? She was saying it as if to make sure.
で、なんだっけ。
And what was it we were going to... Huh?
確かまずこの部屋に入って少年は床に座ったんだよね。
If I remember correctly, you came into the room and sat on the floor, right? Yeah?
どの辺？
Whereabouts? About here, I think. I pointed to the area around Yu's feet.
ドアは？
What about the door? The door?
ドアは閉めたんですかって聞いてるの。
I'm asking whether the door was shut or not. I shut it, I think. After the door shut, I wanted to escape and started throwing myself against the door. I closed the door as I answered. Just like before, the room was thrown into darkness. The only source of light was the moonlight pouring through the little window. What? Moonlight?
ちょっとこれじゃ何にも見えないじゃない。
I can't see anything like this. You grasped around in the dark with her hands. I could see everything perfectly. How is there moonlight when we're underwater?
電気は？スイッチはどこ？
Where's the light switch? You walked along the wall looking for the switch, sometimes tripping on plastic boxes scattered on the floor. Yu's body gave off a faint light. Every time she took a step, a faint streak-like image followed her. It was like the flame of a candle flickering in a thick mist. Lights shone down from the ceiling.
今時こんな石器時代のインターフェースを使ってるとはね。
Jeez, can you believe they're still using electronic fossils like these days? You muttered that as she stared at the light switch.
こういうお客様に見えないところにこそお金って使うべきなんじゃないの？
They should spend money on places like this, even if the customers won't see them.
こんなところで手を抜いてるからきっと事故だって。
It's because they cut corners in places like this that they get accidents. All the dots.
まあ、そんなことはどうでもいいや。
That's not important right now. You whipped around. Then scouring the room, she said,
ところで、
By the way,
窓はどこ？
where's the window? It's not a window, it's a, look. That changed. I didn't realize it. There wasn't a single window in the whole room. Thinking about it, it made sense. Nobody would fork over the cash for a little window with a special pressure-resistant glass and a little storage room stuck on the side of a warehouse. I looked around for the moonlight that had been there until a second ago. There was no moon. I wondered if it was because I had shattered it. But that wasn't it. What I had mistaken for a window was just a little square hole.
これが窓？
Is this the window?
これが窓に見えたっていうの？
You're saying you thought this was a window? You followed my eyes and went and stood in front of the square hole. I went over beside her and looked up at the hole. The hole was bordered by a steel frame. It was about the same size as a coin locker. It was about 50 centimeters on each side. There was a door on the hole. I might have broken it, but the door was bent completely and hung loose at a hinge on the side of the hole. The hole was more than an empty space. A bunch of colored wiring, something like an integrated circuit board, some kind of plug, and something like a small lever were all packed into it. What is this? I had no idea what it was.
多分インバータユニットかなんかだと思うけど。
It's probably an inverter unit or something. An inverter unit?
発電室から送られてくる AC の電気を DC に変換し、
To change the AC power that comes from the generator into DC.
その電流をこの格納庫で使われる電気器具の規格に合った周波数に変換する装置。
It's a mechanism for changing electrical current into one that the tools in this warehouse can use.
またはその制御部分、保護部分を指す。
That means this device controls those functions. I see. Everything she was saying was like gibberish to me, but I nodded.
正確に言うと、だったかな。
Or to be more precise, it was that. Huh?
インバータユニットだった。
That was the inverter unit.
もう壊れちゃってるみたいだから。こ
It
れ
looks broken now.
誰がやったのか知らないけどね。
I have no idea who broke it, but... You said straight-faced and without looking at me. I reached out to touch the inverter unit thing. It was a little bit warm. Or maybe I had it backwards. Maybe I knew that it was warm before I touched it. So I wanted to make sure by touching it. In the end, we really didn't learn anything. No, but it did seem like something was trying to move, at least to me. It felt like someone inside me was tossing and turning in his sleep. Abnormally normal. Well, we've seen this before. Oh, we skipped one line. Huh. Alright, well anyway, my name is FlightlessBird. This is your story-based gaming channel, and this is our blind let's play of Ever 17 the Out of Infinity for the PC. Thank you for everything, my friends. I love you all so very much, and we'll continue with this next time. And until then, so long, and take care. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you would like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more. Also, please do not forget, you matter, you are brilliant, and you are loved. And you should always remember to be true to yourself. Don't let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly feathered flightless bird. Till next time.